Hello, folks. Welcome to another episode of Will's Review. I'm your host, Will D, and with me today is
Joy.
All right.
I
So
was gonna say my whole name.
no. I mean, are you sure?
I am sure.
Okay. All right. She says questioning herself. Uh, but today we're going to start off with some sports. So just a quick rundown. With baseball, we have the Yankees in first in their division, and in the National League, we have the Mets fourth in their division. No change since last week. And I mean, really, do you expect anything different but the Yanks winning and the Mets losing?
I mean, it is what it is, right? It's just sports. Both teams are probably bad.
How are they bad if the Yanks are winning? They're the best in their division.
How many times have they won, though?
They won the majority of their games.
Oh, okay.
How
Well,
dare
my
you
bad.
speak ill of my Yankees? Terrible.
Are you a real fan, though? Like, you have, like, the swag, the hat, and the clothes? Like, you would ride hard for them?
I do. Come playoff season. Yeah! There are too many games out there. You bugging.
Okay.
I wore nothing but Yankees and Giants like gear every time that I would pass by Fenway when I was living next to Fenway Park.
Okay. But my whole thing is that I feel like I don't know anyone who goes to their games, so it's like I can't even co-sign with them, you know?
To be fair, the ticket prices got ridiculous at the new stadium.
It did?
Yeah, that's really what it was. You used to have affordable tickets back in the day when they were at the old stadium. When they built this new one, it ain't even worth it like that.
Shit.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
that's literally the reason why.
I'm going to go to a game, though. When coronavirus is over and I finally get a boyfriend, I'm going to go. I'm going to tell him to buy the ticket.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, that's the reason why. Got you. Okay.
Of
It's going to be a
course.
while because you're still waiting for that other guy to drop that girl, right?
Just making up lies here.
You
So
said
many
it yourself
lies.
last time you were on. Yeah, I love this guy. He's from
Read
Australia and he's on the
thing.
show. And
Read
I'm just
from
waiting
the
for him to
thing.
lose his girl before
Are you
like,
kidding
know.
me? My celebrity crush?
Yes.
I'm going to date my celebrity crush one day. But, like, that's not conversation today. So read from the book.
Okay. See, she's bringing up boyfriends, but I'm the one who's out of line. All right. Then in basketball, the bubble thing is just about over, and the Trailblazers found a way to sneak in. So the way that the playoffs are looking is that on the West Coast, we have the Clippers, the Lakers, the Mavs, the Trailblazers, the Nuggets, the Rockets, the Thunder, and the Jazz.
Ooh.
And then on the East Coast, we have the Bucks, the Raptors, the Celtics, the Pacers, the Heat, the Sixers, the Nets, and the Magic. Pretty much, if you're going to ask me, I'm going with the Bucks versus, hopefully, the Clippers for the finals. Let's see what happens.
Why?
Why? Because I know a lot of people, they're doubtful of the Bucks. I just have this feeling. I don't know what it is because if you're looking at a lot of the different teams that are left, I would say the Celtics and the Raptors are probably safer bets overall in the East. But sometimes you kind of just have a gut feeling about a team that has performed well overall, or when they have big wins, like it's against the best teams. I feel like the Bucks are that surprise team, and I know Giannis doesn't have a lot of help, but I also feel like he's gonna be like hungry for it. He was so close last year. He wants it. On the West side, I'm going with the Clippers because out of all the teams here, I know they've had a couple of close games against the Lakers and all in all, but I feel like they have the best overall roster to actually hold a team down.
Oh, my God, I love the Lakers. They have so many cute guys on their team. It's like crazy.
All right.
I'm just saying. I'm like, all the girls out there know what I'm talking about.
On that note, we're going to go to our first commercial break. When we get back, some of the stuff happening
Don't
in
be a
news.
hater.
I didn't say anything. I'm just going to commercial break. And the sports for commercial break. That's how this works. So we'll catch you with you, Charles. Take us away. Hey everybody, I'm Will D.
I am Javier Luis.
I'm Alex Polanco.
I'm Apollonia Cruz.
And I'm Kelly Kaboo.
I'm Shirley Phillips.
I am Emmanuel Anzule. Do you know 1 in 4 women will experience domestic violence?
During their lifetime.
And domestic violence and abuse can happen to anyone.
Regardless of gender, race, or other factors.
2 out of 3 homicide cases are
Females who were killed by a family member or intimate partner.
As domestic violence victims, they face high rates of depression,
Sleep disturbances,
Anxiety.
flashbacks and other emotional distresses.
And without help, witnesses of domestic violence are more vulnerable to become abusers themselves.
thus continuing the cycle of violence in the next generation.
Hello, I'm Charles Aloma. Join the LDM network and Safe Horizon and take a step into changing these facts. So if you are or know someone that is being abused, please call the City Domestic Hotline at 1-800-621-4673. So that is 1-800-621-HOPE.
Speak up.
Speak out.
And make a difference.
And just know that you don't have to deal with this alone. There is help.
All right, and we're back. So there are a couple things I wanted to get to. A lot of it that's happening locally. First is that there's a Sour Patch Kid store now in the city.
I am so excited. At first, I was like, why would there be a Sour Patch Kid store? You know, because it's just candy. You could get candy from like the corner store or Walmart or wherever you live. But it's like it's actually a restaurant, and they give you like Sour Patch food, which is like pretty cool.
Well, I mean, have you been to other like specialty candy stores?
No, I know. I think Hershey's has one though.
So Hershey's has one, and then they have, when you're there, they have like the chocolate fondue, and there's like all variety. There's like one called like Sugars or something like that on 14th, and it's a bunch of like certain candies that you can't get in most stores and things like that. So like when you have a candy, it's exclusive candy. So when you have like something like this in general, what they're gonna try and do is just take like the key theme and then overuse it on everything.
No, but like you tried an Auntie Anne pretzel, right?
Yeah.
Auntie Anne's had this period of time where they would have like a frozen drink with Sour Patch Kids on it.
Yeah.
It was lit. It was everything. So that's why I'm like really hyped for this store.
Because you want to see if they have that like Sour
Hell
Patch
yeah!
drink.
It was for a limited time. It was so good. It was so good. It's definitely like a perfect date spot.
There she goes again.
Because I'm single. I'm single as fuck, so I'm just pointing that out there to the audience. Leave me alone, okay? Just leave me alone.
So you'll be buying Yankee tickets and Sour Patch drinks.
The perfect date. After the Yankees, we go to the Sour Patch store. He's going to buy me everything.
That's going to be quite the trip. Because you're going to have to be going from the Bronx over to Manhattan.
Oh, shit, that is true.
And then, yeah.
You can work it.
All right, Then something else that popped up was that there's supposedly 30 different companies that want to create 100,000 jobs in the city for like lower income and minority families, but they say they want to do it by 2030. And I'm kind of like, why are we announcing that you want to create jobs by 2030 when like that's kind of a given?
You think it's a given?
Companies hire and fire like crazy. Like, I'm sure if they did absolutely nothing, there would be 100,000 hires between these 30 companies in the next 9 years.
My whole thing, though, is that so many people are out of work because of the coronavirus pandemic. It's like, what can we do now?
Okay, so this is what I was talking about last week. I like when people are talking about it. So what can we do now, right?
Yeah.
So this isn't a 9-year project, too. Like, why are we making this announcement? There are jobs hiring now. It's that people don't want to take these jobs because they get more money on unemployment.
Really?
Yes, because they get whatever they were making, or like 2/3 of what they were making before, plus bonus. So there have been people sitting on their butts making more money than me the last like 6 months.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. But we're talking about like low income families, right?
Yeah. So when you add in their $200 a week plus the $600 the government they were making, they were pulling in $800 a week. Now they're pulling in $600 a week, complaining they don't have enough.
Damn. It kind of makes me like not feel sorry for those people now.
Yeah.
And I'm still like working during coronavirus, and it's the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
But they get in their checks too, so
right.
I
So
guess
so when you
wins.
have this problem of like, oh well, eventually the government's going to stop giving you bonus money, and these people want their jobs back.
Yeah.
A lot of people who actually start taking these hirings now are going to be working, and a lot of these people who are trying to collect from the government won't be having nothing. So I guess in the long run, that's what these companies are thinking about. But I'm like, but you would have had the same amount of employees over 9 years anyway.
What about your friends though? Like, how are they holding up during coronavirus?
One of them was telling me that he didn't want to go back to work yet because he was making more not working. And even though I kept telling him to work, but his situation is different because the company paid for some specific training that he knows he'll have a job whenever he wants to come back because that training was not cheap. My other friend, though, wasn't making any money, but because they weren't working, they actually are making money now by not working. So, it's a winning situation for them.
I have like 2 friends who quit their jobs during coronavirus, and they're not doing so well, but like the stress of not working during coronavirus is like better for them because they were really stressed out at their jobs.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is, go get tested for antibodies, see if you have it, and if you do, pick up a job. And I didn't say what you were doing before. I said a job. There are tons of the field that you want, but at least you'll have some money in now.
I agree.
That's all I'm saying.
I do agree.
But yeah, so I don't know about 100,000 jobs in 9 years. It's a good sentiment, but all in all, for me, it just kind of seems, redundant.
At least there's going to be more jobs created because remember, Amazon said they were coming to Queens or something like that to provide a whole bunch of jobs to people. Remember that? And then never happened.
Don't blame Amazon for that.
Don't blame Amazon. Why?
That was the city. The people didn't want Amazon moving in. The city was there was some because the city was going to cut them off some big tax breaks. So a lot of people were like, "No, Amazon doesn't need more money. No,
That's
they're bringing
crazy.
non-union jobs. If it can't be union, we don't want it." And so Amazon said, "Well, F it. We'll go someplace that wants us." And then they went right next door. So, that's not Amazon's fault.
crazy.
And it's funny that you bring this up because this is over a year ago and people really still mad at Amazon even though Amazon said we coming. We want to come. The city was trying to make
Amazon's
arrangement
here.
and the people are the one who said, "No, don't do it. Don't come. We don't want you."
But it's crazy that they would even say that because there needs to be more jobs for low-income families.
And that's what
You
Amazon
know?
was going to do. That's what these companies are promising. And in the end, what people want is perfection.
I agree.
So my friend recently said something about voting that I think can be applied to a lot of different places. But essentially, it's like, when it comes to taking a bus, if there's not a bus to go exactly where you want to go, you take the bus that gets you closest there, right? Same thing when it comes to voting, right? Because a lot of people were talking about when Biden picked up Kamala, like, this is ridiculous. Who would do this? Why would you do this to us? And it's just like, well, would you rather Trump? So if it's the lesser of two evils and it's moving, and you think overall they would move in the direction that could help people more so than anything that Trump has been doing, just pick them. In this case with Amazon,
okay,
right?
okay.
You want people to get more jobs. You can't really complain about the jobs that are being provided. Let them
Okay.
come.
Okay. I understand that. That makes sense.
But since I did bring it up, Joe Biden chose Kamala Harris, and I think the best part for me has
I'm
been,
all for Kamala Harris, by the way. I am.
Ew.
I am.
I love how like the black internet was just like, really? You called out our blackness and then you chose her?
This is about to get into a whole conversation. So, who are you backing?
Me?
Yes.
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know at this point.
Oh, okay. You're taking your time. You're reviewing the facts. That's smart. You need to know everything before you back someone.
Well, yes, but the thing about Kamala Harris is that she is so wishy-washy in the things that she chooses to support.
Please explain.
Well, not for defunding the police,
Oh, okay.
right?
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I know what Biden was doing, and he was doing what Obama did when he chose Clinton, right? You pick your biggest dissenter to kind of pick up that other half of the party, right? And I get that. I really do. But the way that this woman came at him, I mean, all kinds of disrespect, right? And then to pick her
I'm sorry.
as a man,
I'm
it
so
makes me
sorry.
lose respect for Biden.
You're really coming at this woman hard. I'm
'Cause the
so
other
sorry
thing-
to all the fans out there for this woman.
The other thing about her was that watching her on that stage, because I don't like to judge people solely just off of paper, but when she was actually on camera, opening her mouth at the debates, at the press conference, whatever, something about her.
she was passionate
No,
about
not
everything she was saying.
See, that's the thing. Some people were saying that, and I'm honestly looking at her, and if you really look at this woman's eyes when she's talking about certain
Look at her
subjects,
eyes.
oh, I look at everything. You have to watch the entire performance of an individual.
Okay.
And when it came down to certain racial stuff, it kind of seemed like she was reading off a script. There was no passion.
Wow.
And it's not
That's
surprising to me.
amazing.
She sounds like that black person that forgot they were black, but then is using their blackness to get ahead. And it doesn't surprise me. I'm gonna say it. She's black and Indian, right?
She
And
is.
She's black and Indian,
She
and
is.
9 out of 10 times when it comes to dealing with our brown brothers and sisters, they don't see us as brothers and sisters. So
I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know if she's using her blackness to get ahead.
Yeah, baby.
I just want to say that I do support this woman. Since
Why?
Barack Obama, I support this woman.
why?
I can't give you all the facts.
Because she's black. And, oh yeah, and a woman. Yeah,
I mean,
I forgot about that.
It doesn't like.
Just
it's
because
not bad
she's,
that she's
if she
a
was
woman. Like,
but no,
you know.
but here's the thing: if she's black and a woman, but she believes in no abortions and
Didn't you support Hillary though?
no,
You didn't support Hillary?
no,
Did you vote in that election?
no, not for either major party.
Why?
Because I truly did not. I didn't agree with Hillary, and I'm in New York State. I already knew it was going blue. Why?
But-
I can actually choose to not support her and still have the Democrats get the vote.
Oh my God! I had to like go for Hillary. For one, my family was like backing this woman, and it was like either her or Trump, and like Trump just wants to deport everyone.
I was literally with 32 BJ, right? When we were meeting with different representatives from the Democratic Party for different things.
okay.
That same night, we were talking mostly local elections at the time. That same night, they were talking about whether or not they should back Bernie and Hillary,
Okay.
right? And my thing is this: one, I don't like to back losers. Personally, I don't. I can't do it. Like, to know wholeheartedly that I'm going to support somebody that's going to take an L, I can't walk into that. I can't.
Because you knew she was going to take the L from the beginning.
I literally said that night, I said it on air that Sunday, if Hillary Clinton is chosen over Bernie Sanders to represent the Democratic Party, that
Okay.
Donald Trump would win the election. I said that weekend. You can go back, watch the videos. Anybody who knows me said it.
Okay.
When because
okay. Everyone was going hard for Bernie, though. I would say
wholeheartedly,
that.
I felt that the moment that she would take that spot, a lot of the people who believed in the Democratic Party would not show up.
But still, though, that's
happened
why
that election?
Trump won, because like
Trump
people didn't want to vote for Hillary.
Trump didn't even win because of that. Hillary still won the popular vote.
Okay.
The amount of people who voted in that entire election were nowhere near the numbers of when Obama was running. One, because the black community wasn't coming out like that. A lot
For
of
Hillary.
they weren't, because they knew she was full of crap.
They were backing Bernie Sanders.
Not
They
even
were.
just backing Bernie. The way that she came at Obama before, none of us forgot. She ran a very dirty campaign against him and still lost. And that let us know how she really felt about us. We weren't coming out for that. The youth wasn't coming out for her because they know that she's a wishy-washy politician.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So when
I
you
do agree with that.
when you- when-
Obama was wrong, but when it was between her and Trump,
But here's the thing:
you had to come forward and be like,
a lot of people really felt that it was a given who's taking Trump seriously, and she won the popular vote. It all added up. The issue was that Hillary was so full of herself that Hillary forgot that Middle America does have a voice. The reason why the Electoral College is a thing was to give states with smaller populations an opportunity to get their representation out there. We got rid of the system that had the losing candidate become the VP. We don't really have any sort of way for Middle America to do it except for the Electoral College. So Hillary Clinton didn't take the time to speak to some of those smaller states that didn't
So let
matter.
me ask you this. Once you do your research, because I feel like you will, and you find out who you're going to back, would you let us know?
No.
So you don't be putting that information on camera?
No. I will pick a winner on camera. I will not let you know who I vote for on camera.
So we're not going to know until the election is over? Okay. I'm sorry.
See, my whole
He's just full of himself
my
right
whole
now.
thing is my whole thing is literally the fact that I will not back a losing candidate. I will also
But what if you believe in said losing candidate? You
I
don't
will
believe?
still not back him.
Okay. Well,
I'm not taking my time.
I'm just letting you guys know. I'm all for Kamala Harris.
But you can't even say any reason why.
I'm going to do the research and I'm going to come back to you
So
and I'm going
she's
to throw
all-
it in your
she's
face.
She's all for her, right? But because she's black and a woman. Don't get me wrong. This hasn't always been a negative, right? Obama literally won that first election with no one caring what his platform was. He was a black man running for the Blue Party after everybody was hating on Bush and Cheney.
So you
It was
didn't.
opportunity.
You're saying that you didn't. Well, you did back Obama, but not just because he was a black man, but
I-
because you did believe in
I
his
didn't back
policies.
Obama. I couldn't vote.
The second election, his re-election.
Second election, I was like,
We
he's
were
gonna-
old enough
The second
then.
election, I knew he was going to win. Why am I wasting my time? Again, I live in New
Because
York.
that's like the first time you want to vote, and it's going to be for a black man. It's
I
like,
live in New
it's-
York.
let's move on.
No, and no. Why I
Guys-
say Why I say this is the same reason why Hillary lost. We don't live in a swing state.
Okay, yeah.
We don't. The number of people who vote in New York City alone is enough to sway the entire election for the state.
Voting.
I get the importance of voting, and I'll spend more time to vote on local politics than before the national game.
But you didn't even vote when it came down to the mayor.
Who told you that?
You told me that when the lady from Sex and the City,
Yeah,
she was going against Bill de Blasio.
yeah.
You didn't vote.
I didn't vote for her. I don't even know she was running. I was just like,
Okay, we're gonna have to like talk about this more.
De
though.
Blasio's a Dem. I wasn't voting for a Republican from a TV show. We've seen how well that's worked out in several states.
I can't say that I backed her though, because I didn't know like all her policies and her platform and
I
what.
mean, one thing about the mayor election is that, like, do you remember the last person who actually held a race that was close? So in New York City, the last mayor race that was close, where like people were very much aware of both candidates and what they stood for, and
that
we
was
saw
probably
lots
a
of
long time ago, right?
That was Bloomberg versus Mark Green.
Oh my God.
That was Bloomberg's first election. Right, so we're talking what
That was a
maybe
long time
2000?
ago.
Maybe
Yeah.
2000. We're talking over 20 years ago.
But I feel like New Yorkers like they support Bill de Blasio. He's been the mayor for
New
so
Yorkers
long.
don't necessarily support Bill de Blasio. It's that literally no one knows who's running against him.
Can anyone like successfully run against the man though?
Yes, because
he has so much pull in America.
no.
It's crazy.
de Blasio has pull in America.
Sorry, pull in New York City. It's crazy.
De Blasio has pull in New York City.
Yes.
No, Cuomo's shown that's not true.
You think Cuomo is like?
Cuomo has more pull with New Yorkers across the entire state, down to the city, which I have to say because the city doesn't work like the rest of the state.
So what do you have against Bill de Blasio?
Do you remember what Bill de Blasio was doing when he first ran?
No.
Why he's mayor?
No, why?
Hey, look, I have a black son with an afro. You want to turn your head to and third, who's picking
know I
Kamala
do
Harris
not
just
agree with
because she's
you.
black. But
I
no,
do
no.
not
But in
agree
all
with
honesty,
you.
he was running on the fact that he was a Democrat. No, I'm dead serious. He was running on the fact that he was a Democrat
Okay.
and that he had a black son.
Okay. But just
More
to
people
clarify
knew
this,
knew Dominic's name than they did Bill's first. They kept calling him de Blasio. What's his first name? I don't know, but he has a son named Dominic.
Oh my God.
I'm so serious.
Okay.
I'm dead serious. He pulled the race card and he's not even black. Like, it's crazy. He's like, I like black people. Look, I made a child with one.
The
like,
race
that's literally
card
what he
does
did.
matter.
And
The race card matters and the sex card does matter. But that is not the reason why I support Kamala Harris. I
So-
kind of
so why?
support her because my family supports the woman, my friends support the woman, and I trust the people who I love.
all right, now, again, Obama won because Obama literally won because he was black, and he said change, right? If you go around and ask most black people, they're like, yeah, I'm supporting him. So you would have tons of people who are saying yes, yes, yes. If you ask them, but why? What specifically on his platform? The only answer you would ever get is change. No one had details. That first election, no one had any details.
I
so
agree
just,
with
so just
you. I
going
do.
with people just because you know them. If everybody you knew wholeheartedly thought it would be cool to jump off of a plane, would you do it? Just because they, I mean, in all honesty.
The fact that you're sitting here right now and you're saying that you do not support Barack Obama is crazy to me.
That's, again, not what I'm saying.
What are you
I like to see
saying?
that's a Trump move, avoiding the question entirely.
What is the
If
question?
everyone you knew thought it was a good idea to jump off of
I
a plane,
would
would
not
you do
jump
it?
off of the plane.
So why are you using that same logic to
I told
pick a
you
candidate?
earlier, I'm gonna come back with all the facts and all the figures,
Right,
and
but
I'm
that,
gonna throw it in
but
your
then
face.
you saying already that you wholeheartedly support without doing any research doesn't make any sense.
Okay, I understand where you're coming from, and I understand that you're saying that that is a bad thing because it is. You should do your research. You should know exactly who you're backing and why. But for me, I trust my mom. I do. I do. I don't be like watching politics every single day, but
See,
I do trust
I
my
argue
mom.
with my mom every single day about every little thing. And when we finally agree, my dad's like, oh, thank God.
So then, why can't you tell us who you're backing when you decide? Why do we have to find out after the election?
Because it's more fun that way for me.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
She's not ready. She's not ready. Still thinking about them Sour Patch drinks.
Shut up. Move on.
Okay.
Those good ass Sour Patch drinks.
Now, something that I found very disappointing is that AMC is opening on the 21st with 15-cent tickets, right?
Oh.
So why is this disappointing? Because New York State ain't getting it.
What do you
AMC is
mean?
coming back. So AMC has opened up globally already, and this is why we were talking before about the whole face mask thing and everything, right? But they're going to be coming back to America, officially opening Thursday night on August 20th. But on August 21st, there are going to be a couple new movies thrown in there, and they're going to be selling 15-cent tickets back to the original price.
Not
But
in New York.
they're only going to be opening up in states that are allowing public congregation in certain places. So theaters haven't legally been open in New York State yet.
That is true.
And so I think the next phase of things to open, they said, were bowling alleys at 50% and certain museums at 25%. Theaters still aren't open yet, so AMC won't be giving us that discount.
Is that because people are unemployed? Is that why they're cutting
That
the
has
cost?
nothing. No.
Why
They're
is
just
it-
doing it as a promotion to get people to come to theaters because they've been afraid to congregate in certain places.
That sounds so stupid to me.
Well, okay, here's the thing. Since the movie theaters had to close, people have been able to get certain movies at home for $20, right?
Mhm.
Whether they're buying it or renting it, it's been the same price as a movie ticket, essentially.
Yeah.
So now the idea is, after I got comfortable doing this, right, there are only going to be two reasons for me to go to the actual theaters, right? It's either going to
that's
be
what you're saying.
it's going to be
Okay.
either movies that
Okay.
are I can't get them online, which now some people are about to get Disney Plus to see Mulan because Disney said, you know what, we're going to save that to get people to use our app more. And the other possible thing is like, hey, we're selling 15-cent tickets. Is that enough to entice you to get up out your bed?
To be honest, like, I'm just gonna keep it real. I have not gone to like the movies in so long, and even before the pandemic, I just don't go to the movies.
Why?
I buy it online, or I just like wait for it to come out if I'm not like that serious for the movie. If the only way I'm going to the movies if it's like my friend who like invites me or something like that, but I kind of get like the whole online thing that people are just straying away from movies now. I do.
Except the thing about it is this, right? You want to wait 6 months for everyone to ruin a Marvel movie for you?
That's another thing. People go crazy for Marvel movies. Not saying there's anything bad with it, but I'm just not a hardcore.
Well, I'm
Marvel
just using.
fan.
Okay, I'm just saying. Let's say there's a movie that you really wanted to see, right? You saw the trailer or you heard about it. It's featuring your favorite boy toy, and yet you're like, oh, I'm just gonna wait for it to pop up on Netflix or pop up on Hulu or like for a toy to
Okay.
pop up in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And yet along the way, all your friends already saw it and ruined it for you. How you gonna
If
feel?
that happened, no, I wouldn't be stressed. I wouldn't be stressed.
You are a rare individual. The
I guess
reason
so.
why people hop so hard to go to the movies so quick is because they don't want anyone to ruin it for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love the people who wait a week to see a movie, right? They're like, I just want to go when there's no crowds. And then the entire week, they're like, no, you can't talk about that with me. No. I'm like, bro, I'm sorry, but this isn't spoilers. It came out. You're late. Not my fault.
Okay, I understand that reasoning. I do. But 50 cents, 15
15 cents, not even 50.
that's just way too
It's not even a
low.
quarter. Well, that's because, so.
And that's probably just like maybe for the first
No.
week. they're probably only doing
It's for the
15 cents.
opening day. Just the 1 day opening day.
Okay.
They're bringing it back to that was the original price of a movie back in the day.
Oh, wow.
Right. So they're doing that. Just to get people to be like, hey, just come out. We're back. It's Friday. I think they're going to be mostly showing movies that were hot just before the summer or
Right.
or classic like blockbusters. I think they're actually even what's that movie with Leonardo and the thing spinning all the way at the end? Inception is going to be one of them that's going to be showing
Oh,
too.
I love Inception. I do.
But then there are 2 new movies dropping out. One of them is featuring the break dancing drug dealer from no,
What?
I know it sounds so ridiculous, but from the Get Down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right. Okay.
exactly.
Yeah, cool. I will watch that.
So he's
I
he's
will.
in some movie that's produced by RZA from Wu-Tang,
Can I just say this though? There's like way too many streaming platforms that I feel like you have to be paying for. Like Hulu, Netflix, now Disney Plus. It's like a lot of money.
Well,
and
if
then
you-
I
no,
also
no,
have
no.
cable.
So if you have Disney Plus, you get Hulu and ESPN free.
You get those.
There's a triple package for all three of them,
Okay.
right?
Well, that's cool.
If you have Netflix, that's
And
solo.
Prime, Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime, but if you have Amazon Prime, you don't have that for the movies. You got it for the free shipping. So then you might as well be watching the movies and TV shows. That's how that worked out. I'm sorry, because at one point they were trying to make you pay like, oh, there's something for the video and then there's something for the Prime, and then they were like, wait, no one's buying the Prime videos. Like we want the shipping. So then they made it one big package.
I feel like the only thing Amazon Prime has though is The Marvelous Mistress Maisel.
That is definitely not the only thing that they have, and probably not the best thing that they have either.
You watch Amazon Prime? What do you watch?
I like
Let me
Amazon
know.
Prime because they have a different batch of anime than on
Oh.
Netflix, than on Hulu. So like there's a series there called Banana Fish that's dope about a gay gangster essentially.
That's pretty cool.
Then another Dorohedoro was on Netflix.
I saw
something
that,
else.
but I put it down after like 4 episodes.
There's another one I think is Dororo that's on Amazon about some kid that was like had all of his senses taken away at birth because his father was trying to sell him to a demon.
Wow.
And then some angel blocked it and allowed him to live. Like it was some crazy nonsense. What was it? There's a series on there. I gotta remember the name of it.
Let me ask you, what's your top 5 animes?
Of all time?
All time. Let me know.
Alright, so my top 5 favorites would not be my list for the top 5 best.
Okay.
But my top 5 favorites are Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho, and Rurouni Kenshin. My favorites.
I didn't think you was going to include Digimon in there.
Digimon is literally my favorite anime of all time because it inspired me to write my own stuff.
Did you say Dragon Ball Z?
Yes, Dragon Ball Z.
One Punch Man?
Yeah.
No? Oh, okay. All right. You didn't even, like, say Death Note. Why?
Because Death Note had a horrible ending.
I feel like punching in your face.
There is no way in hell,
This,
that Light would literally cause himself to... I'm sorry.
it wasn't Light's fault. It was Mikumi's fault, for one.
It was no... So first off, I'm not even talking
Light
about that.
messed up.
I
He
literally-
was too overconfident.
But that's Light. See, this is what I'm saying. Light being overconfident is not new.
Okay.
Light being
okay.
overconfident and not waiting for everyone to die around him before exclaiming how brilliant of a man that he is was the writer totally copping out, being like, well, I said Ryuk had to kill him, so I gotta make it so that way he loses. And like the
But
dumbest
you know there was nothing he could do about Mikumi's fuck up.
I'm not even
There
talking.
was
I'm
nothing he
not. I'm
could've
not
done.
talking about that.
Okay.
Literally, all I'm talking about is that moment. Because really, where like I think it was what N. That's the one that gets him, right?
Yeah.
N is the one that's just like, see, I knew you were the one who did it, because he literally yells just before they get him.
He does
I
yell.
win.
He does.
I'm
That-
like, no.
that
Light,
confirmed his
Light
fuck
would have
up.
never done that.
But the fact though, it was like years after L's death when Nier comes into the picture.
Understand.
So he's like feeling himself
I'm
at
not.
this moment.
I'm not talking about Light losing. Being, because inevitably the story would have to end where either he lost,
Okay.
or either way, we all knew from the beginning that Ryuk was going to be the one to kill him. I understand. I get
Yeah.
like why he
Well,
wrote his name in the
okay.
book and all of that.
Yeah.
I thought that was fitting. But when Light exclaims, "I win," when he's not even sure anyone is dead, like the people are standing up in front of him talking. No, Light would have had a malicious laugh
I
after
think he
everyone
was,
was
like,
confirmed
fed
dead.
up, though. He trusted so much in Mikami. You remember he was like
The
counting down
same,
the
see,
seconds?
what I don't understand is the
He
same
was
people who
counting
can
it
justify
down.
this, but then complain about Homegirl going nuts at the end of Game of Thrones when that had more of a credible buildup than
Oh
Light
my
losing his mind in that
God.
moment.
We're gonna have a whole nother conversation. Because for one, I'm not even a die-hard Game of Thrones fan, but I did support the ending. I'm not gonna.
I
lie.
loved the ending. I don't
I
think
liked
anybody.
the ending.
No one realized that Homegirl lost her humanity when they killed the black girl, because that was the last piece of it.
Okay.
That's
so
literally
wait,
what it is.
Do you're saying that you don't agree with like the people who were saying
So a
that
lot, no,
they
the
should
same,
have-
no, the same people criticizing like, well, she would have never snapped. Why did she snap? That was so random how
My
she destroyed
friend
the
literally
whole.
had to explain that whole thing to me, and I was like, no, like it makes sense. I understand it.
It makes so much sense, right? But the same people who complain about that will tell me that the ending of Death Note makes sense. I'm just like, you're all fools.
Oh my
You're all fools.
God. I just love Death Note. Death Note was one of the best animes to me. It really was.
I can't fall in love with anything that has a terrible ending. It feels like I wasted my time, like Harry Potter. On that note, we're going to go to our next commercial break, and when we come back, the fans of the weeks and the movies you should be catching up on.
She's so fake. She's such a slut. You can see the layers on her face. Look at her chicken legs. Oh my god. How short is that skirt? I can't believe she didn't even put that on. Is that her dress? It's not even on her hardly. It's not even covering her up. It's actually disgusting. Oh my god. How can she do her hair like that? I don't even know how this girl has friends. I saw her talking to Holden the other day. Who does she think she is? I bet she slept with the whole football team. She's not even pretty. She's gained so much weight. She looks like a cow. Such a good idea. Watch this. You're good. Oh my god, that's so funny. You gotta post that. I got an idea. Pass this.
We're back. So, Charles, you have the fans of the week ready? All right, so we're gonna run through this real quick.
Our favorite fans.
Why they gotta be our favorites? They change
They're
every
our
week.
favorite fans.
They change every week.
Just read it.
See what I have to deal with? All right, so first we have Hina Alam from Facebook, as well as Joe Frenza. So shout out to y'all. I think Joe's won this like 5 times now. He's just very active
Wow.
certain weeks.
That's cool.
Yeah, it definitely is. And then from Instagram, we have Bree Exalted and Anderson, my boy from high school. So shout out to them.
Ooh.
Thanks for being quite active this week. Yeah, from high school. That was my little junior.
Do y'all still keep in contact?
Every now and again, we chop it up.
That's good. My forever friends are like from high school, not college. Just by the way.
No.
People always say you make your forever friends in college, but for me, it wasn't that way.
I made most of my forever friends in elementary school.
Wow, they don't get on your nerves?
Who said that?
I'm just asking.
I mean, of course, the people. I don't like people.
By the way, you seem like a loner, though. Is
I
that
am.
true?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a loner, too, so I am.
Talking about her forever friends, but she's a loner.
Just do whatever. You can have forever friends.
And be a loner?
Yeah.
All right, but you don't bring it up that you have forever friends. You got like those two homies that you forever with. You don't.
I do. I love everyone who I went to high school with. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I know, thanks. Big shout out to Joe for, making fan of the week.
And then our picture of the week is essentially my advice for guys who are in relationships, right? So do not cheat on your girl when you're mad at them.
Do not.
Don't do it. It's a bad
He'll
idea.
stab you.
Right? Wow. Went all the way there with that. Instead, just have a couple of meals without her.
What?
You know
Eat without her?
Eat without her. You want to get back at her? Eat without her.
What is that? What does that even mean?
Real pain is when she's like, "You got food and none for
but
me."
But you know we hungry too.
Exactly.
Like that is just.
And maybe next time you won't piss us off.
That is disrespectful.
It is. It is.
So much.
But would you rather that or a homeboy cheating on you?
Okay. Well.
Because when guys are mad and they cheat, it's normally with somebody you know or related to. Facts or fiction?
Damn.
Right.
Just shut up.
Yeah, exactly. So instead, no Big Mac for you. All right?
You're so silly. Okay.
I'm just saying.
All right. Fine. Eat without us.
All right. See
but
now
just know we cooking y'all meals, so we eating good too.
Or we just go outside. I think that's where it hurts the most. Where it's like y'all cooked, y'all spent the time in the
Well,
kitchen,
we spent the
and
time.
then homeboy got something else to eat.
This shit is so disrespectful.
See,
So
I'm telling you, just in theory, it's already working. I'm just helping you out, bruh. All right. Now, some stuff dropped recently that I want to get to. So first off is a series called Close Enough, and why I want to talk about it is that it's from the same creators of the regular show that was a long-running Cartoon Network season.
I love the regular regular show.
It was such a great show. It's one of the few Cartoon Network series in the last like 10 to 15 years that I'm like, this is legit.
Please watch the regular show. It's really good.
It would have been one of those shows that would have been late night with like Beavis and Butthead, Daria, those MTV VH1 like late series, that old school Adult Swim, and they gave it to kids, which I personally love it because they got a little bit of good comedy with the rest of the dumb stuff on Cartoon Network. So
Agreed.
this series is about a dysfunctional family, a married couple with kids that is living with a divorced couple because they all can just save on the rent. And then they have very much regular show dysfunctional like journeys and adventures. I think,
Wait, is it also a cartoon?
yeah, it's a cartoon series. I think immediately it hit me that it was created as a regular show before I even saw the credits because of the way that they draw humans.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the same type of like animation.
It's the
and
same
like-
kind of animation and
Okay.
the same kind of random misadventures. So I thought it was really funny. It was really clever.
That's cool.
I would say though that it's not for everyone
Why?
because I think the regular show was a show that was too late, and I feel like a lot of the younger generation didn't appreciate it for what it was. I heard way more people talking about Adventure Time than regular show, and I'm just like, are you high? And then they were like, yes, and then I was just like, that makes sense because you're not high. Literally, Adventure Show is a much better show if you're high, and they literally draw it so that way it's even more fun. When
I was
you're high.
gonna say that I think Gumball is more popular
Gumball-
than regular show on Cartoon Network.
Gumball was more popular than the regular show too. I would
You know?
argue that Gumball is just as good of a show too.
I don't know.
If you really sit there and watch the kind of comedy that these guys are bringing to the table, that show is hilarious. I think that Gumball and the regular show are the only two shows in the last like 10 years I can really be like, this would have been a legit 90s cartoon.
Okay, I could agree with that. I do get 90s vibes from Gumball. I do.
So that's why I have so much love for both shows. But both shows were also underappreciated. I don't know.
What's this new show called? So
Close Enough, and it's on Hulu.
okay.
All right, so give
All
it a
right.
watch. Trust me, I got to give it a 3.5 out of 5 just because I feel like it's just not going to resonate with some people. But I think everyone should give it a watch. Another thing
I
that...
will.
Yeah, you have
I'm gonna
to.
watch it.
You have to watch it. It's not an option. It's mandatory. It's mandatory.
I have to. I'm sitting at the desk.
Well, no, because you like regular show. Like, now you have to show love to the creators.
That's
So,
true.
See?
That's true.
Fandom matters. Then also there's a movie that dropped recently which is called Deathstroke: Knights and Dragons.
Oh.
So for those who aren't familiar with the name Deathstroke, you're probably Teen Titan fans like this one who know the name Slade. So Slade is his name, Slade Wilson. His villain
Wait.
name is supposed to be Deathstroke.
His last name is Wilson?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just kind of weird.
I
Because
mean,
he's the bad guy. His last name is Wilson. What, he has a regular job too?
so his wife thinks so.
Okay.
So essentially, he is a mercenary who used to be, military guy, underwent some scientific experiments, ended up with, a high healing factor and stuff like that. So for DC comic fans, this is actually more of the story of his actual life. It's a story about his kids and how they come into their powers because they're
that's
affected by his science
cool.
experiment.
That's cool.
And it's about the Hive who.
The Hive is in it.
The Hive is in it, yes.
All right.
So it's about the Hive who he is trying to, kind of get rid of. And there's a whole reason as to why. Comic fans would know that it has to deal with his family, but it actually follows this storyline. The animation style is a little bit off. It feels more like
Do the Teen Titans make an appearance though?
No, this has nothing to do with them.
Okay.
They're really like not involved in his origin story.
Okay.
So this is I can't quite call it the origin story of Slade, but it has more to deal with like his solo series as Deathstroke.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's weird because it feels kind of like one of those stop motion kind of a animation thing, but it's really just an odd cartoon like comic style that they put into animation. Marvel has more of those like literally like you ever read those books with like sliding pieces?
No.
So they're like actual children's books with like you can slide up and down and it makes the stuff
That
move.
seems really cool.
Right? So Marvel has done
Yeah.
movies with like Wolverine and the Hulk and stuff like that and turn it into an animated format.
So
This
then,
is not that. It's actually just they literally took a comic book version drawing
Yeah.
and put that on a screen in regular animated style.
how much did you love the show though, watching it?
This particular movie,
the show with Sledge and his family and his whole backstory.
You mean Power Rangers?
No.
Well, Power Rangers has a guy named Sledge. This is about Slade.
Slade.
I'm just picking on you because I can.
Wow. Thank you so much.
But
Out
no,
of 5 stars.
I got to give it a 4 out of 5.
That's pretty high.
It was really good. I say that even knowing the original story, I just thought that for me, the biggest problem was the animation style.
Okay.
Knowing how well DC can do their animation. But
you
that's
really
the only.
appreciate the animation.
I mean, that's why I like animation. The visuals are very important in the storytelling. I think that's why I've always preferred anime to American-made stuff because they're more intensive in doing their drawings and doing their styles. So
You and I should take a trip to Japan one day.
that would be dope.
I'm for it.
I-
I'm gonna put it on the calendar.
You're gonna put on the calendar?
Hell yeah,
Where's
I'm
this
dead ass.
calendar?
I'm dead ass. If I say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna
No,
do
but
it.
where's this calendar?
Pick a day.
So wait, you can use the calendar but not
Shut
the
up.
calculator?
Shut up. Pick a day.
But you don't trust the calculator, but you trust the okay. I got
He's
you.
talking about
All
a
right,
calculator
all right.
because he told me about this math problem
She
that he was
can't use
completely
PERMDAS.
wrong at.
She can't use PERMDAS at
So-
all. When you can use your exponents with negative numbers, we can talk. All right?
You
Because
are
I
so
aced algebra.
disrespectful.
I aced
You're
algebra.
so disrespectful.
I'm just
Okay.
saying, right? Math was the one class I
We're
was
gonna
like,
do it one time on the show so I could body you in math. And it's gonna be something that I know a lot of, which is PEMDAS, not PERMDAS.
See, the fact that she doesn't know PERMDAS, let's let you know
God.
what's up. I'm just letting you know that R
You're so
is important.
disrespectful.
It's important, okay? But back to the stuff on the movies. You know why we're here.
Okay.
There were 2 comedy specials that dropped recently that I wanted to watch, and I kind of am mad at myself. I watched both of them
Why are you mad?
because one of them was basura, and the other one was kind of meh.
Okay.
So
That makes me not want to watch it.
well, that's the point. So one of them is man, that's Sam J's 3 a.m. And I feel like part of it is really funny, and part of it was just kind of like, can we get to the next joke?
Oh.
Like, you ever met a comedian who has a good bit but doesn't know how to let it die?
Oh.
Right. So there's
It's like one of
So,
those.
but it happens consistently. Where you're like, that joke is funny. It's like, why are you still talking about? Can you next, please? So that happened consistently.
He's like holding it for 10 minutes straight.
Right.
Okay.
So,
all right.
you know, I mean, I will say, you know, give it a shot. Maybe you'll find it funnier than I did. Because it was some good stuff in there. It was some good comedy.
Okay.
I know I was definitely, like, it's one of those where even at the beginning of it, it was funny. It didn't take too long to build into you having a good laugh, like a genuine laugh. But then it went from like, ha 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 ha, you know. So I give it a 3 out of 5.
Okay.
But the other one is, it's called To Me or Not To Me. Right, which is from a South African comedian whose name is Toomey.
Is he better than Trevor Noah?
It is a female,
Ooh.
and no, literally, I'm surprised because when I was, you know, we were talking about.
You had high hopes for it.
I did because all the African comments that I've been watching over the last like 2-3 years, especially after Trevor Noah, have been hilarious.
Okay. So
Right?
What did this woman do wrong?
So literally, her comedic bits weren't that funny. Her accent really hurt the bit too. Like, it wasn't even like I couldn't understand it. It just was unpleasant to my ear. And then like and this includes how she said certain words. So even though some of the jokes might have hit, I was just really annoyed at the literally the tones that were hitting my ears. I could not enjoy this.
So
stand-up
wait, it was
at
like
all.
all her accent, but
it-
the jokes were.
No, not even. Most of the jokes were not hitting either. They were very like surface level jokes where like any guy at a bar could have been saying it, as far as I'm concerned. If you want to just talk to any black mother about raising children and a family, and you pretty much have this entire routine.
Damn. I'm sorry, homegirl.
And
it
what's
just
funny
wasn't
is
it.
that after this, right, I turned into watching a movie called Seriously Single, which also dropped on Netflix.
Oh, damn! I know what you're talking
Right?
about.
And
Yeah.
she's in it, and
Right.
and the comedic acting role was hilarious.
You saw the whole thing?
Yes, of course I did.
I saw halfway.
I love-
'cause it was late at
I
night.
love African comedies
it was-
because
yeah.
they're deliciously like corny and bad.
Yeah.
but I have to add the delicious because it's actually I can't help but laugh at it.
Seriously Single was good. It reminded me of the movie with Rebel Wilson, How to Be Single, with the girl from.
I honestly I watched this
Yeah.
and felt like it was a better upscale Tyler Perry movie.
You got Tyler Perry vibes.
Yes, I said this was
Really?
basic and funny.
Okay, all right.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
it was a good movie.
It was solid. I enjoyed it. I actually give that a 4 out of 5.
And especially because, like, I feel like with Black women, we don't really have, like, movies like that. Like,
True.
you know, sisterhood and girlhood movies. It's, like, always white people starring in movies like that.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right about that. So that's a bonus. But again, it had to come all the way from Africa. We need to start doing that in the States.
Facts.
You know, like series like Girlfriends were actually really good because they're rarely seen.
Oh, my God. I love Girlfriends. And Girls Trip. Girls Trip was the shit. You didn't like Girls Trip?
I will mixed opinions on it.
Wow.
Mixed opinions.
Jada is like.
There were parts
she's
of it that I
good.
enjoyed, but then there were parts of it that are just like I see this joke coming. It had less about it being
Okay.
a bad movie and more about like it was not done the best.
Not to give away. Actually, I'm gonna give it away.
It's
it was,
how
it was
old
so,
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was so old. But when Jada Pinkett Smith, when she was on the gliding thing and she
Oh, yeah.
got caught and then she peed on
Yeah,
everybody saw that one
you
coming.
see what I'm
It
saying?
was
Like,
a given.
that's see, it's less about to deal with like the whole subject matter, more to just be like as a movie, it was kind of meh.
Yeah.
Me.
It was, but I like it. I think they should do a Girls Trip too. I think it was in the talks already.
Let's not do sequels on movies that were just subpar. Okay, let's not do that anymore. Hollywood needs to stop that. There's a reason why we're getting like 10 Fast and Furious, so people are just like, oh, I'm
Fast
so
and
over this,
Furious
and then
needs
go and
to
see
stop.
it,
Yes.
and then go and see it.
Oh my God! No,
See me?
I do agree.
I walk
do
into
agree.
Fast and Furious knowing that I'm just going to see stuff explode and people fight. They've gone to the point where John Cena is Vin Diesel's brother. We know it needs to stop. We know that this needs to stop. But
Oh,
I'm
you're
going to watch it because I
crazy.
want to see
Oh,
the fist
God.
fighting and explosions. We can't say that about a subpar comedy that was kind of funny.
But
No,
Fast
we don't need
and
a second
Furious
one of
is
that.
getting so stupid now. Like with all the stunts are just like
Getting stupid?
It's oh my God, it's
No.
unbelievable. Like,
Getting stupid. Do you know how
So
long
wait,
that
wait.
plane was on the runway? Like that would have had to be that runway had to be longer than that entire country.
okay, yes. I
Okay,
know what you're talking about.
like,
I do agree.
Let's
I
talk
do
about
agree.
what the white guy from Texas in the middle of Japan in Tokyo Drift, and that's
Tokyo
like the third of
Drift
the,
was so stupid.
like you see what I'm saying?
I can't.
So we're talking about
I
the
can't.
getting stupid.
I can't.
It's been stupid for
The
a
thing
while.
is just that my favorite was Too Fast, Too Furious with Ludacris. That was
I
my
think that's
favorite
everyone's
one.
favorite.
Yeah, piece of shit. And they had the girl there with the kick-ass car. It was good.
Anything Michelle Rodriguez is in, I'm watching it. I don't care. I don't care. I'm gonna watch it. Yeah. Thank you. Now, the last movie I want to talk about, because there's gonna be one series after this, but it's called We Summon the Darkness. And it's a story of like 3 girls who are trying to frame, like rockers and punk rock and pretty much like all the heathens for these satanic killings because they are from a super Christian church.
Ooh,
It's a movie that seemed like it was going to be pretty good. It felt like another
it sounds good.
it sounds good. The trailer made it seem like it was going to be all right. The premise sounds dope, but watching it, it just doesn't hit. It felt beyond corny.
Why? Like the acting, maybe?
The
or
acting,
just...
the story, the filmography, like everything about it was just kind of like, this isn't what I wanted in any way, shape, or form.
was okay. Maybe it was like more so the plot line and how it was executed.
Well, literally,
came to a
watch
close.
it, and you'll see, like, oh, this isn't like, when the Son of Sam and all those killings and stuff, like in the
Yeah.
70s and 80s, like it felt like it was gonna be one of those tales.
It
And
sounds
it could
like
it could be like it could be artsy or there's something like, I mean, it just really felt like a B or C level horror movie with something that could have been so much more. And I think because your expectations are higher because of the premise,
Y'all
the
should
movie
watch
just doesn't
it
hit
and
the
let us
same.
know.
Watch it, let me know, but I gotta give it a 2 out of 5. I really felt like I wasted my time.
Damn, not even a 3.
Not even a 3. It
Okay.
would be a 1, but some of the girls were hot.
What? Wait, what is it on? It's on Netflix.
That is also a Netflix series.
Okay.
All
Right.
And
Okay.
last but not least is a series called The Governor. Now, I wanted this to be good.
That sounds so familiar. I think I've read about.
So
The movie.
essentially, this is I think Lagos. So I think this is Nigeria.
Okay.
This is the story of a woman who gets to be governor of her state. due to
Okay.
a sense of multiple circumstances. But of course, this is a West African nation, and there are a lot of guys who don't
sounds
want
like a
a woman in power.
feminist movie.
Exactly. So
Okay.
it's a I think a 13 episode series, or season 1. It looks like there could be a season 2. It's about this West African lady who is going. Something happens to the guy who's governor, so she gets his spot.
Okay. Did she
Right.
deserve it, or
No,
just
she was
like-
his VP.
All right.
Something happens to him, he can't fulfill his duties, she gets automatically promoted.
Okay.
And a lot of people are trying to finesse a way to take it from her because no woman should be running their state.
A perfect feminist movie.
Right. Now, in theory, sounds great. I wanted it to be good.
This sounds like something I would watch.
This literally was if Tyler Perry were to do like some low budget series. It
You
was
always be calling out Tyler Perry
because
for
he makes a lot of
movies you
garbage.
don't
He makes a
like.
lot of garbage.
But okay,
But
you
no,
just
I mean,
don't
liter-
like Medea, maybe.
no,
you don't. Think
I don't like
Medea's
Tyler
hilarious.
Perry's in general.
Okay.
But I mean, literally, if you look at how it was filmed, it looked like a lower budget version of House of Pain. Like as far as
I don't agree with his sitcoms because I don't think any of his sitcoms are funny.
but this is what I'm telling you. This series looked like it could have been a Tyler. Watch it. I watched an episode of this.
hold on,
I
wait, but
watched
you
the
said
first episode.
funny. Is it a comedy?
No, it's not even a comedy, and that's what makes it suck.
Ooh.
Exactly. So there's a whole storyline about her fighting the other guys in government and trying to finesse things, right?
Yeah.
There's a storyline that makes it seem like her husband might cheat on her with some other people who are, some other woman who's giving him attention while his wife is busy running the country.
Okay, yeah, she's
and
too
he's a
busy
teacher,
for it.
right?
Kelly
Then you-
Clarkson's
then
career.
you have then you have
That's what happened.
her son who's like trying to figure out dating, and his girl who's trying to figure out dating, but unfortunately she's dating a guy who's the son of someone in government who doesn't want her mother as governor.
Okay.
So there's a lot of
So
interesting
it's not
storyline.
even like men who's telling her that you shouldn't do this. Her family's also saying
her family doesn't know how they feel about it. There are tons of men in government who don't agree with her. There's certain guys in government who do agree with her, and they've liked her because they've learned that she's actually a competent person from her role as VP.
This is a movie, right?
This is a series.
Okay, how many?
So it's one season, 13 episodes. Honestly, I had trouble
can't be
getting.
that bad.
I had trouble getting through episode 1. I literally had to start thinking of it as a comedy because it felt like such a bad like daytime soap opera.
It's like that.
It was hard to get through. It was really hard to get through. I'm
Damn.
only gonna give it a 2 out of 5, just because I think in theory there was a lot of good stuff in there. Like if you can really get past the poor performances, the bad camera work,
It's nice.
like
Is the camera work
it's
too?
literally like as a show. If this was a book, it might be better.
Okay.
But as a TV show, there's so much wrong with it.
Hold on, wait. You're an avid book reader?
I read books. What, you think I don't read?
No, it's just I'm sorry, low key to the side. I'm trying to put together a book club, and you would be perfect for it.
I'm actually really picky about what I read, so
Well, have you heard about a book called Mexican Gothic?
no.
Okay, it's gonna be turned into a movie, and that's how I found out about it because Kelly Ripa and her husband are producing it with Hulu. So I was like, okay, let me check out the book.
Premise?
And it's so popular. People are saying it's so good, and I
Premise?
want to do a book club
What's the
with
premise?
this. It's about a woman in the 1950s in Mexico. She gets a letter from her cousin, I think, saying, "Come help me," and she's just married this guy. So she's like, oh, my cousin needs help. I'm going to go out and help her.
Mm-hmm.
But when she gets to the house, she figures out that there's a whole bunch of family secrets that she didn't know. She figures out a lot about herself, and it gets really crazy.
Not for me.
And scary is what I'm told.
Not for me.
Just try it.
No,
just try
I can
it.
already tell you.
Just digest the pages into your mind.
I literally do not want to read any book that I would feel I would be forced to read in high school. I am very picky
Okay.
about the books that I would read.
What
and that
type of
is
books do
something-
you like?
Me, I like stuff that is sci-fi, adventure.
Oh, okay. Well,
but
it's-
but not
yeah.
not for that aspect of it. A lot of those books, a lot of people sleep on, like stuff that's written by Orson Scott Card,
Okay.
stuff that's written by Neil Shusterman. What they are is that they take these really out of this world premises, right? They take you to the edge of what human concept is, to kind of talk about issues where
You like thought-provoking books.
exactly. So
Yeah.
they're deep stories, but they're done in worlds. So the series that I was recently finishing up is a series called Scythe. right?
Okay.
And it's about a world where we have everlasting life, but
That sounds cool.
But in order to keep resources to their max, there's a certain amount of people who must be killed. So when no one can be killed, there's a group of people called Scythes who have a quota to taking away. Let's say it's a 10% of the world in order to keep everything functioning. So every year they have to kill off 10% of the world.
Wow.
And there's certain rules and stuff that apply to it. So the story follows two people chosen
Yeah.
to become Scythes. And all the
Okay.
infighting that happens between the old Scythes and the new order from it. But it has a lot of stuff that makes you think about, like, what would you do at the end of your life? How would you like to die? Stuff like
Okay,
things like
that sounds like something I would also be interested
right.
in.
So
I'm down for it, though. We
not-
could do that in the book club as well.
But I don't read dramas. Dramas are for TV.
Oh, my God.
I have enough drama in my real life. I don't need to read about somebody else.
You are so opinionated.
I am. This is why I have a show that's a review show.
Can you just, give the book a try?
I'll wait for the
Chapter.
I'll wait for
All
the
I'm
Hulu
asking.
series to come out.
He a hater. I'm sorry.
On that note, that's another episode of Will's Review. We'll catch you guys next time.
Bye.
Excuse me. I'm next in line. Excuse me. I'm next in line. Watch out. Excuse me. I'm next in line. I said move. Excuse me.